would be too much for your vehicle, and that's why I decided to continue carrying it. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? It's what you and I do many times. What are the burdens you need to put aside today? 294. 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on him, for he cares for you. Jesus goes on to say, and you will find rest, for my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. There is a television show called The Young and the Restless, but it could easily be called The Old and the Restless. The word rest, or in Spanish rest, is the one used to refer to the Sabbath. Saturday. It means resting from work, and through that rest working for salvation. We are saved by faith. We are born again by baptism, and we are regenerated by confession when there is serious sin. Jesus also says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." Our minds must be under the yoke of Christ. He says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." This means a mental act. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Do not be united in the same yoke with those who do not believe. Because what do justice and injustice have in common? Or, how can light be a companion to darkness? And what happens when someone tells me, "But, Father, my girlfriend is very pretty and I think that maybe she can become a Catholic Christian father. I am sure that once we are married I will win her over to God, she will be my little pearl." Anyway, 1,000 romantic phrases defending his life project with an unbeliever. If you really love God above all things, and above all people, then you will be willing to obey his wonderful word and his ordinances. In 1 Corinthians 7:39, St. Paul speaks of our obligation to be married to the Lord. For Catholics this means being married in accordance with the laws of the Catholic Church related to marriage. These laws are based on the commands of Christ and the teachings of Holy Scripture. If a Catholic wishes to marry an unbaptized person, it is necessary for the Catholic party to obtain a dispensation, and she will have to put in greater efforts to make the marriage work. The Second Vatican Council, on the Church in the Today's World, says, "Human pride and selfishness, which also upset the social environment, man, already inclined to evil from birth, finds new stimuli." 295. For the sin, which can only be overcome with valiant effort aided by grace, cf. Gaudium et Spes, 25. The previous phrase that says, "Man, already inclined to evil, finds new stimuli for sin." This is the reason why we need to be yoked to Christ, otherwise, we would be like oxen escaped from the yoke, wandering in the mud. The Bible has a lot to say about various kinds of yokes. 1 Kings 12:11. Because my father burdened you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. Ezekiel 34:27 says, "And you will know that I am the Lord when he breaks the bonds of his yoke and frees you from the hand of those who enslaved you." God promises to break the yokes that do not bind us to him. The enemy is constantly trying to impose his own yoke on us, but that yoke is one of